Hello. Okay, there we are. Hi everybody, sorry about the delay. Great. There we go. Volume okay, everything okay, hopefully. There we go. Volume okay, everything okay. There we go. I have a dog that plonked herself right down the middle of everything, so. Oh, sorry, Pooch. Good here. Perfect. Hi, Robin. Alrighty, so let's see what damage I can do tonight. Oh, Belle says hi. Say hi, Belle. Hi. Woo. Okay, listen. I gotta get rid of my dog first. Sorry. I apologize. Here, what's this? Okay. Be a good girl. Sorry about that. Okay, so I hope everyone's keeping well. And again, I am just a little discombobulated. I thought I'd be a little more organized, which I'm not. I had a nap and woke up and it was like 6. I made dinner, so anyway, we're here. That's all the important stuff. That's all that matters. Alrighty, so tonight I'm going to make a fun fold card using the baseball player from Sporty Boys. Oh, naps are the best, naps are the best. I really needed one. Uh-oh. Oh, I guess you'd like to see the card that we're making, which would make sense. So that's the Sporty Boys stamp set. I'm using this little guy. He would be really handy to have this stamp set because this one might be coming into use soon too. You never know. Anyway, this is the card we're going to make. Really easy, lots of fun. And of course I made a fun fold, so I used a few stamps, stencils in the back here. And I fussy cut this little guy, put him on top because I thought he might, just in case he hangs over the edge. And we're going to have a card here that's going to open up like this. And then the inside will be like this. Okay? Pretty simple. I think it's a good card to have in use for Father's Day, birthdays, or anything that's coming up that you need a masculine card for. Or even just a little boy card. Oh, thanks. Thank you, everybody. All right, so this is the card we're going to make. So first of all, what I did ahead of time is I stamped my little image, my little boy, with Kraftin Kimmie Wicked Black ink, my well-used Wicked Black. And because I often make mistakes, yeah, like this one, I cut it wrong. I cut out a couple just in case there's a couple boo-boos. So first of all, let's get the card out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I will, I'll put the instructions in a folder so that we can have it for one of your templates in the Kraftin Kimmie site. I found this one on the internet. It's a really easy card, really easy. So 8.5 by 11 paper. I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. So basically you're cutting, scoring this cardstock so it's in 4. Okay. So 4 1/4, and then 5 1/2 along this side. Whoops. 5 1/2 inches along that side. That's okay. All right. So according to my template, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut along here, and I will show you where I am cutting. So I'm going to cut 5 inches. This will be my top fold line, if you can follow me. It'll be like this, okay? So it'll be down like this, and across, and up, and like this. And then this section here, you can use for the mat, circle, rectangle, square, whatever you want for your image. So we're going to cut along here, and I'm going to measure this so that it measures 5 inches. 5 inches the other way might help. So there's 4. 4 1/4. 4 1/4, 4 1/2, 5 is here. And we're going to cut right to this halfway mark here. So right down to here. Okay. And then we're going to measure 3/4 of an inch in on this side, which is 1, 2, 3. Wrong way. 1, 2, and 3. And then from the half middle mark, right up here. Okay. So this is what it's gonna look like to start. So this flap will be our flap that we fold over. All right. And then we'll just cut. We're going to cut the first 3/4 of an inch off to here. Okay. And then we'll cut the rest of that off. Make sure I have it right. Yeah. There. And like I said, you can use the circle for in here, so you're really not wasting anything. Okay. Now I am going to do a little tiny haircut. There we go. All right, so that'll be our card. Somewhere I have my bone folder. Right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this. Okay. So nice and crisp, and then fold this one flat down. And if you have to trim it up a little bit, it's what it is. And there's your basic card. Okay. Alrighty. So now what I am going to do is I'm just going to measure, just to get rid of some stuff on my desk, I'm going to put the paper onto the card base itself. So my pattern paper here measures 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to add him onto here. All right. Measure him this, put it onto here. And like I said, I'll put all these measurements and stuff in the on the Kraftin Kimmie files when I'm done here, so once I write them up. All right, and then the front flap, I use a star to pick up some of these colors. And this star paper is so this measures 2 3/4 by 5 1/2, so you bring it in 1/4. So 2 1/2 by 5 1/4 on the right way to do it. So you're gonna have it like this. I'm going to measure it like that, or I should say adhere it like that. And like I said, this is good with any card that you want to make. It's just a nice, nice and simple and effective pattern to put in with your what do you call it? With your list or your stash of fun folds. And the I put an inside panel in because I used the dark turquoisey blue color, and I used the star stencil, the new one, the swirly stars, I think it's called. So I used a piece of cardstock, white cardstock, and it measures 3 3/4 by 5, and I just did it up like this, and then put on somewhere, oh yeah, the swirly stars. And to match my paper, I used designer denim ink. Love it. One of my favorite colors. And you can use whatever you want as far as the star pattern goes. Crash. Anyway. So I use my lovely sticky mat, which is not very sticky. It needs a really good bath. There, I think it's got stuff all over it. Okay, so what I did with this one is I ran some stars up the side of it. What I'm going to do with this one, I think, is probably the same. Okay. Yeah, I like it in the bottom going up. Oh, let's be different. And top going down. There. Alrighty. So I'm just going to try and do a light hand. Alright, yeah, designer denim. I love that color. And this ink goes on and stencils so nicely. I think that should work. Yep, that's good for what I'm looking for. Oops, if my thing goes out, I apologize. It might be welcome to country internet, or I should say rural. And I'm just going to ink the edges. Just an option, you don't have to. You can stamp your sentiment on the side, on the back, add something different if you want to. It's your card, make it your own. All right, so beautiful designer denim. And I'm just going to attach it like this. Hey, Penny. Alrighty, so here we go. And the card is done. Now all we have to do is do our, and it really is that easy, everybody. So what we're going to do is, while we got the ink out, we may as well do all of our inking at once. So for this card, after a little bit of playing around, I, somewhere, yes, I used a circle that measures, for this background, where are we here? A little over 3.5. It's about a 3.5 inch circle. 3.5, 3 5/8, somewhere in there. Whatever's good for you. You don't want to have it any bigger than, I didn't want to have it any bigger than the 4. So, and then what I did is I used a couple of stencils and inked it up. Now these stencils are the Kraftin Kimmie Scenery stencils. I use Kraftin Kimmie this Scenery 2 for the grass. And like I said, easy I'm fast? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, usually when I'm making a card, I try. But especially doing the lives, like I kind of have an idea what I want to make, so I'm good, I hope. Yesterday it took me almost all day to make one layout. I wasn't very fast at all. Ask Jennifer Kelly. So for the grass on this one, I used Fresh Fields. And I just built up some layers of the Fresh Fields ink to give him some, I was going to try and use the Lucky Limeade, but I think I needed a little more dark. So anyway, so here we go. I'll just start here. Of course, I did it on the wrong one. So I'm just going to flip this. There. Because grass grows the other way. Anyway, how's everyone doing? Has everyone had a chance to be getting any crafty at all? I've had some issues, but I'm getting there. I do enjoy my crafting time. Oh, thanks, Kim. Kim just put the scenery stencil on sale, too. Okay, so. And basically, I'll just make myself some grass. As little or as much as you want. You can have it straight. See, I'm going to try and cover this boo-boo that I made because, oh, like I've never made them before. And I'm going to go up a little bit, make it a little bit different. Heavy or light as you want, whatever's good for you. That's the beauty of stencils, is even though you make the same card or the same thing, it's never quite the same twice in a row, right? So there we go. And we're heat plan. Oh yeah. And all I did was this one. I made sure I had an idea of where it was going to go. So I'm going to give him a couple more rows, I think. And there we go. I think I'll just flip it around here and do this one too. Or should I? As I talk to myself, why not? Don't like it, it'll always cover up. And I think I'm just going to add a little bit here because I kind of lost some of the definition, I think, in the grass by covering it. So, oh no, oh well. That should work. Alrighty. So, Fresh Fields, Crafty Scenery 2 stencil for the grass. And I used Designer Denim once again for my clouds. Now, I know it's discontinued or not available right now, but I think you can find it in your stash or make do with something. So I kind of used a couple of them just to alternate, you know, because I don't like clouds being perfect the same. So anyway, and I'm just going to work on these. Same idea. As light, oops, or as dark as you want. Like I said, they're never the same twice, right? And I just went across the sky a little bit differently because the sticky mat, you can wipe it off, but I find it just as I've had it for quite a while. All I've been doing with it, Deb, is just firing it or just throwing it in the sink and using some soap and water and letting it air dry. I did get some glitter and some other stuff on it, and I haven't really been the nicest with some of my tools recently. But, yeah, so far so good. So, It's like a little stormy sky. Here we go. And if you move it around a little bit, that helps. And if you make them an artistic, oops, just keep going. It's only a sky. It's only a piece of paper. If you really mess it up and you feel like you have to, you can always, when in doubt, start again. But usually the only one that knows anything about that is you. So, and I haven't been re-inking my sponge. I've just been going from there. Except for this little guy. I wonder if I can fix it. Yeah, we'll see. Alrighty, almost done. Alright, that'll do. Alrighty, so we have our mat to be washed. So when I add my little guy onto here, he should look okay, I think. There's a little bit of an oopsie in my mind there, so I can just put some gems or something there if I want to. Whatever else I want. Alright, so next, what I will do is I'm going to attach my base to my to my mat, and this one measures about 3 3/4 circle. But like I said, do it whatever suits your image, and circles, squares, ovals, whatever you like. As long as they fit on your card front, you don't have to have a mat. You can have a mat. Whatever fits is good. And if you're following whatever, you should be able to get the a mat out of this circle in here. All right, so add to here. There. All right, I'm just going to put this over this way and bring on the fun part. It's time to color. Now, I made a list of colors that I used. I know what I forgot to do. I also, if you want to put a sentiment on, that's why I didn't put it on. That's why I didn't adhere on my card base yet either. In case you want to add a sentiment or whatever, just leave your options open until the time comes. All right, so I did very simple coloring on this. Find my Copics, which are over my desk. I said I apologize. I'm usually much more organized in this. Change glasses so I can see the other one. There we are. My goodness. So I have a list of colors. If you'd like me to, I can post the colors that I used on the with the instructions as well. So simple coloring. I wanted to match up the stars, so I basically used the blue and a little bit of red, and the white I used as simple gray, a light gray, nothing really overly fancy. Okay, so start off with the reds. I used R27 and R24, and I just did the hat, a little bit of the edging, the trim. Okay, so R27. My markers haven't been used for a little bit, so they're probably just dying to get out. And just do into the hat. There we go. And how is everyone else doing now that I can actually have a minute to shock? Everything else is good. And this little guy has got a flaw. You can see it right there. So I'm going to change. There we go. That's better. unless I have to go back. There we go. And I'm just doing a little couple flicks, if I can see. R24. Oh, looks like I'm going to have to do something with this marker too. There we go. And I went around the edges and the trim. And some of these tiny spots, I find all you really have to do is dot them, like barely touch the paper. And for this one I used the Nita 110. And I also was very fine lines around the ball. There we go. So red's done. You saw nothing. Good. Perfect. And then to the blues. So the blues that I used, B29, B28, B26. And the shoes, B24. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 8, 2, 6. So B29. Just a little tiny bit of B29 for some of the little tiny bits of shadows up against here. And as far as I'm concerned, if I mess up, I'm not too... But other than having to do something, getting more paper, it's just paper, right? So I am by no means. All right. B29. B28. Oh. Nine, 8, and 26. Can't believe how quickly summer has come upon us. I was busy with other issues, and I came home and it's like, oh look, I missed lilac season and I missed, you know, but anyway. I bought some pots today, so I'm going to hopefully get my garden set up over the weekend, I hope. Oh, I have the hat to do too, duh. For the hat, I used the colors a little bit lighter because I figured light was closer to the light source. Didn't need that much. So under here, just a little bit of the 28. And here. And into 24. Nope, should be 26, sorry, duh. But, of course, it doesn't matter, so... And now 24. I put a little bit of 24 in the peak. Alrighty. And then for the shoe, or his, the flaps, whatever those things are on his shoes, I used B24. And I'll give it a second, I'll put a little more on here. No? Yeah, we got some, we had a nice lilac bush at the side of the house and it just smells so heavenly. Oh well, anyway, for my gray whites, what I did is I used N0 and I just edged around where the shadows would be. So come around here. And up in here. And I think that was it. And then I took my colorless blender, the 00, just smooth them out a little bit. And I missed a little tiny spot with my red, I noticed, right up in here. That's a bit better. Okay. The leather glove, I used E35, E37, E39, E35, 37, 39, 35, 37, 39. Okay. 39 just in the creases. Just to give it a little bit of a depth. Like I said, I am by no means a professional Copic marker colorer, so if you have other colors, go for it and post them. And I just posted in through here. I think that'll work. E39, E37. So I'm just going to go up and through here. Blending them in a little. There we go. And then E35 to blend everything out. There we go. Now, one thing with picking up pots of flowers today, holy gashmoly, I was surprised at how expensive they are. Oh well. I used to buy flats and flats and flats of flowers for a house in Curtis, but not anymore. A couple pots and I'm good. All right, there we go. There's his mitt. So what's left? The skin is left. So for his skin, I tried something different. I used E13, E11, E13, E11, and yellow red 000, 13, 11. And it kind of gave me a different really color. Like I know, minor things, right? So all I'm doing is doing a little bit of a E13 all the way around the outside, just where the shadows would be, if he's looking right on the sun. And I'll do it in pieces. E13, E11. Yeah, I've got 4 big pots to go in my big planters, and that will be it. So E11 next. And then YR 000. Alrighty. Works for me. And then I'm just going to do a little E11 on the arms, just on the elbows. Tips of the fingers. Bits on the ankles. Back to the YR 000. And I did go over into the hair, but I will be covering that when I color my hair next. And I guess you could always add some glossy accents if you wanted to make his glasses look like glasses. And I missed a little bit here. Alrighty, so now we have the hair left. And I made this guy have, I gave this guy brown hair. I used E55 somewhere. 55 and 57 and 59. So I'll give him a good base of E55. Thanks, Kim. Yeah, I kind of liked it. It was a little bit different for skin, so... And it gives it a little color without being too pink. Or not too pink, but too whatever. Anyway, E55. And then a couple of E57. Got a little bit of blue in his hair too. Oh well. My streaks are not happening very good tonight. Anyway. And what I will do is a couple little streaks of 59, E59. Alrighty, I think he's done. So he will go on to here. Now, the only thing left to do is to put on some sort of sentiment. I put on there, "You're a catch. Have an all-star day. Have a kicking day. Hiya. And well done." So I think for this one, I'm going to put on here, "Have an all-star day." And this one can be good for, I don't know. Oh, let me just make sure it fits okay. Maybe not. Maybe. That should work, I think. Unless I put it up higher. Hang on. Yeah, I'll leave it there. So I'm just going to get my somewhere my stamping platform. Yes, I can ink up half a sentiment at a time. I've also done surgery on my sentiments, but I won't admit that, so. Alrighty. And I'm just going to double check, make sure that's where it is. That should work. So I've got it in my platform. Get my Kraftin Kimmie ink. And if you mess it up, you can always put it onto a piece of paper and make a flag out of it. Perfect. I'll get a little more. Alrighty. Perfect. Clean later. All right, so what I'll do is I'm going to add my little guy here, and I will pop him up. And I like how the image sometimes just pops off this circle piece. That looks kind of different for a change. Someplace I have adhesive foam. Oh, found it. All right. Yeah, it does that. It just, you know, it gives you something to that card, right? Like, it shows you that it was handmade. Alrighty. So I'm just going to find some scissors. And it's this foot that's going to be over. What do they say? Easy peasy. Take this off. All right. And then I will add this onto my card, making sure that I have it reasonably straight and I don't put adhesive down here. So I will do this. Make sure I have him on reasonably straight, reasonably centered. Oops. And I'll find some, I think I'll look for some, what do you call those things? Gems or something, and go from there. And I think that's it. Now, of course, you can always put something in here. Yeah, it's a very easy fold. I'll put the directions and the template on the files probably sometime tomorrow or tomorrow morning or late tonight. And yeah, there we go. So easy. Add one to your add a card style to your stash, and like I said, maybe I'll be using this stamp again soon. Hint, hint. Thanks for watching, everybody. Talk to you later. Have a wonderful day. Evening. Okay. Bye for now. Oh, you're welcome. Bye now.